Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We are here in our second best of three of the evening. We have one more after this one, so we got a lot of great Heroes of Storm action coming at you. We are currently in our Division D East matchup, correct? Division D East matchup of Zul'jin Distillery versus Nexus Cats. And if you're sitting at home and you are sitting there and you're WoW rating and you're like, you know what, I was half paying attention. What were the maps again? I got you covered. Home team this evening is going to be the members of Zul'jin Distillery. They lost the coin flip, giving Nexus Cats the opportunity for first pick or map pick. They opted for first pick priority in game number 1. Towers of Doom and Tomb of the Spider Queen were banned out by them. Zul'jin Distillery bans out Battlefleet of Eternity and Alterac Pass. And they decide to take us to Infernal Shrines for our game number 1. Let's get back into our draft and check out what we are going to be getting here. As a Leoric is going to be a bit... My apologies. Leoric will be banned out here. We do have a Kael'thas and an ETC being banned out on the right-hand side. This is Infernal Shrines, so you're going to be getting a lot of team fighting over the shrines. You need to consider wave clear, shrine clear. This is a great map, actually, for Sonya. In my opinion, this is where you probably see her played the most due to the fact that you have a lot of opportunities to like take a team fight over the shrine. You win said team fight. Maybe you take 3-4 members out from the opposing side. Maybe you only take 2, but that means that the enemy team is going to retreat back. You can then leave your Sonya on the shrine itself, and she can clear very effectively, and the rest of the friendly team can then push up. So something like a Sylvanas will be insanely... Tatsuki, oh my god! Tatsuki, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Frenzy from Tatsuki stream. We are currently in game 1 of our second of 3 best of 3s this evening. Thank you for raiding over the Frenzy. I hope all of your games this evening were amazing. If someone can shout out Tatsuki, please, that would be very appreciated. Oh my god, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Ninja. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Belfrag. Welcome, Bimpy. Tatsuki, of course. Jace, how you doing? Sir Locke, how are you? All of you are beautiful people. Thank you for coming by, and thank you once again, Tatsuki, for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream, and I hope your viewer games were an absolute blast. Alrighty, we have Ariel, Jaina, Arthas going to be picked up on the right-hand side for our first Infernal Shrines game here. We have a Joanna Stukov on the left, so we are going to be getting into our second ban phase. Now, looking on the right-hand side, they don't have a ton of... Well, they actually do have decent wave clear, excuse me. They don't have a solo lane just yet, so maybe something like a Malthael could be an option for them if they don't want to deal with that in the solo lane. They could be banning out something like a Rexar, but it's actually going to be the Grey main, surprisingly enough, and I think this is just because of the fact that they don't want to deal with the potential that he can siege. He actually pairs pretty well with the Jaina and allows them to dive in fairly effectively. I am doing my best to keep up with chat. How are you? Kaleo, thank you so much for... Wait, what? Why didn't it shout out Tatsuki? Is it broken? Okay, no, it worked. Tatsuki Chu. That was weird how it didn't work, because I think it was all spelled right. Mikey, how you doing, bud? Thanks for coming by. Swifter, how you doing, friend? Sorry, we're not really in this right now. Just everyone's here. I gotta say hi to all you. Hung Fu, how are you doing? Thank you for coming by. All right. We're here. We're in our game. Gul'dan was banned out as well because they don't want to deal with that when it comes to Shrine Clear, because Kael'thas was banned out, Gul'dan's banned out. I mean, Jaina was already picked up, so we already have a lot of heroes. Okay, cool. Sorry, it's just making sure the ban stuff is all covered. But we have a Joanna Stukov, Blaze, Tychus. Pujami, I think it is. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, friend. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Tychus to shred into the Arthas, but here's the issue. If Arthas actually steps up onto Tychus and uses their Frost presence, that will slow the auto attack speed down of something like a Tychus. So they need to be a little wary of that right there. They also don't have a ton of shrine or wave clear, or even shrine clear on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. But Nexus Cats, there's the Malthael that I was talking about for the solo lane, and there's going to be a Vala as well for some increased damage. I was going to say I'm surprised there's no Raynor pickup, but that's because Raynor was banned out in the first 1-2 ban. Manic Black, thank you for the follow as well. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for coming by. They need wave clear. They 1000% need wave clear. Something like an Orphea wouldn't be horrible here. Gives them good wave clear, gives them good aggression, but they're going to go into Mephisto. The skeletal nervous system. Going to be floating on in this one. Okay. Between the two teams, names aside, game aside, just purely based on draft and what map we're going to, I like the draft of Nexus Cats a little bit more. Their front line feels a little weak. It feels like they might be able to get to the Vala, Jaina, Ariel very easily. So it's going to be a lot on Arthas and Malthael to control the fight, but I think we're in for a good one. The thing also with Mephisto is going to be the availability to dive into the backline with the Shade of Mephisto, so you can get a ton of damage out from them as well. Didn't know last month's sub was from Tatsuki. Thank you. Now my duty continues to both Tatsuki. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shark hugs, no less. They are the best hugs now. We have to see what hero's competitive these days. Ace, what's up, bud? How can you talk so fast, Bahamut? You have a lot of tongue control. No, no. I don't know. I just talk a lot, I guess. I've also been doing this. Like, I was thinking about this. I've been casting semi-professionally, professionally Heroes of the Storm for like almost 3 years. So like for me, like, I don't know, it just happens. Like, I see the things and like I can just kind of keep up. But if you go back and like look at my old casts, I'm horrible. I'm absolutely horrible. But you know what isn't horrible? Game number 1. Let's get into it. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Zul'jin Distillery. We've got, oh boy, I didn't read the names beforehand. Ankle Shot will be on the Mephisto. Befresh, I think, is going to be on the Tychus. We have Wit going to be on, or I think it's DeWitt is going to be on the Joanna. Cowboy Kyle is going to be on the Blaze, and Led will be on the Stukov. The Cowboy Kyle was the one I was most nervous about. But either way, we have the right-hand side. We got Nexus Cats. We're going to be seeing Arth and out on, excuse me, I think it's Arth. I'm just going to go with Arth because I always mess it up. On the, I think it's Malthiel. On the Vala. Lulu is going to be on the Ariel. Turd Herder will be on, such a good name always, on the Arthas. Mark Zombie, who raided over earlier, thank you so much, is going to be on the Jaina. And then the solo lane, we've got Shadow Guard on the oh my god, on the Malthiel. There we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes I can talk properly. Most of the time, I'm just tripping over my own words, and I don't know why. I'm sorry for Nexus Cats, but Zul'jin Distillery has Stew. Now I gotta cheer them. There you go. When it comes to names, it's a dead heat. Both teams come up with real whiz-bangers. Not too sure about the Malthiel. In the solo lane matchup, I agree with it. In the team fight, that's where I start to feel a little iffy, and I agree with you. I agree with you on that because of the fact that it's just, where's your front line? Like, you have Blaze who can dive, you have Malthiel that can dive. Tychus can't really dive per se, but he does have that dash, so he can kind of chase, or at least, well, finalize a little bit of a kill by closing that distance. So just something that they do need to be wary about, and I think you're seeing that right now. It's very apparent how they're playing this bottom lane. The other factor too is they're not rotating lanes on the side of Nexus Cats. They're actually just going ahead and being stagnant within their own lanes. Lulu doing a little bit of rotation to kind of help out the Arthas up in this top lane. Let's actually earn this mid lane. Oh my god. We do have Shadow Guard versus Cowboy Kyle in this mid. See? Words. The moment someone was saying that I was good at casting, all of a sudden I just don't know what lane we're even looking at anymore. But great rotation from Zul'jin Distillery to grab the camp in bottom lane to add some extra pressure. This will be first Punisher popping up in bottom lane, going to be frozen as well. We will see that announced at the 2-minute and 30-second, and then it'll be up and available at 3 minutes into the game. We have both of the Bruiser camps up and available as well. So typically right now we see a wave a wave is typically cleared here. You grab one of these camps over here, and then you break off and grab this camp with the help of your solo lane. That's typically what I see a lot of teams do, just to add more consistent pressure around the map. But I think what they want to do right now is they're going to try and get as much value out of this bottom lane camp as possible. One of the Impalers was already killed, and I think Vala is going to make quick work of that one. DeWitt is going to be staying down right there. Led is going to be rotating up into mid lane to help out the Tychus potentially. Ankle Shot maybe. No, actually, no, they're going to be rotating the Tychus. Oh my god. The Malthiel and the Stukov right there. Do it? No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be Joanna. They should have Iron Skin up and available. There it is. Yep. Just to kind of throw back a shield glare, get a little bit of damage. Tychus did go into one of the best talents because you just get all the dings, so they're gonna go into the rhythm right there at level 4. Keep an eye on that one. It is as it's going up further and get an idea of what that damage looks like. Actually, did we set up our little... No, we didn't. All right, there we go. We can keep an eye on what that bonus duration looks like as the game does progress. Either way, we also do have the repeated defense from the Ariel at level 4, so she can be looking for 6 of those detainment strikes. It currently has a 30% knockback range. That's what you get baseline from the talent, but then once you finish out the quest, you get an increased damage. I believe it's up to 100, 250. I always screw that one up right there, but either way, currently have them really brawling out right now. Mephisto went into the Lightning Nova build as well. Lightning Nova? I feel like I'm wrong on that. Yeah, Lightning Nova build as well, which when Mephisto had changes, this actually became more apparent and used to just be unyielding power with those Skull Missiles consistently, but now we're actually going to be seeing the Lightning Nova coming out from them as well, which gives them, I think, a lot more damage and also cooldown reduction onto a lot of abilities, but that's going to be Turd taking a lot of damage. They end up going down. First blood over to the side of Zul'jin Distillery. The members of Nexus Cats need to regroup. They don't have their 7 talent here just yet, but this is starting to run away a little bit in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery, at least with this first Punisher phase. DeWitt taking a lot of damage, Tainment Strike just missing. DeWitt has a lot of poison on them as well. The healing comes out from lead just in time. The pustule pops from person to person, and I think they'll go ahead and survive through that, grab themselves a Frozen Punisher. Looks like Malthael's going to be doing double rotations. They do have on uphill horse, so their mounted movement speed is actually increased by 30%, or excuse me, by 20%, up to 150 total. That's why you're going to see that right there. Typical mounted speed is 130. So it's just that extra 20% actually really does move Malthael across the map, and things like ganks from top to mid are really valuable with that Malthael with the on-a-pay horse. But right now, solo laners are going to be doing the solo lane thing while this pressure comes in through bottom lane. We have Arth, oh my god, almost going down 30-some health, and I think that was quarterback from Be Fresh. They're going to chase in. Do they have the dash? Oh my god! They get it! They get the one auto. I didn't think they'd be able to make that in time, and then Turd Herder the silence. There's going to be the Shade of Mephisto coming forward as well, and that allows them to get that last little bit of damage. And if you didn't know, Shade of Mephisto actually does do damage when you cast it. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it did enough to get that kill onto Arthas, and that's not something I get to see very often, so very cool. And very strong initial Punisher phase coming out from the members of Zul'jin Distillery. We are in the 7 to 8 talent tier range, so let's go ahead and look at some of the other numbers. We've seen all these questing talents for a while. We'll peek back at those in a little bit. We want to see what the other numbers look like right now. The other thing, too, is I want to get an idea of Tychus's In the Rhythm is sitting at 0.69 seconds. Very nice. You don't need it at 23 stacks. That's all you need. You don't need a single more stack right there, as we are going to be having the bottom lane fort cleared out, and they also went ahead and trying to push back this wave on the side of Nexus Cats. Rest of the enemy team is going to be, well, a couple of the enemy team is going to be working on this camp, and I think they're going to try and take advantage of them being split across the map, because they know that the Tychus is mid, they know that Blaze is top, and that was a very good invade coming out from Nexus Cats. Not taking that one lying down, they're going to be stealing that away, allowing them to get a little bit further in their experience, force some pressure into bottom lane. Punisher will be Arcane in top lane next. We should be getting the announcement fairly soon. Ooh, Turd Herder not going to be going for the root, and they're going to be able to just back right out of there. You psyched yourself out? Yeah, Ninja, exactly. Bandit needs them bark boxes? Indeed he does. If Tychus doesn't go stacks at 4, what's the point? There you go, Bean. What's up, bud? Sorry, I'm catching up on chat a little bit. We kind of have a little bit of a lull in this right now. That Iron Skin Detaining Strike had stunned Joanna, she was dead. Exactly, yeah. You're talking about like right here in that little engagement where it just narrowly missed her. So that would have definitely been a dead Joanna. That might have actually been the turning tide they needed in that fight. The power of Mighty Stukov. Nice invade, stop the blasphemy, we all... We need the stacks and just run it down, but things that are being run down currently is going to be Jaina. Does pop the Ring of Frost, unfortunately not going to be able to get a counter kill. We do have Ariel with the Resurrect at level 10. That's why you're seeing her so often and so highly prioritized. Mephisto going to be going into the not Durance of Hate, Consume Soul at level 10, and that does hit everyone. There's a slow on it as well. I wonder, oh, I think we're gonna be seeing like a Bless Shield, Combustion, Consume Soul. That's gonna be wild. When they nail that triple combo, that's gonna be wild. And then you have Commandeer Odin just dumping damage on top. Oh, that's gonna be a rough go. But on the opposing side, not to kind of take anything away from them. They've got Ring of Frost. They've got the Rain of Vengeance as well. So you've got Chain CC onto a player. You've also got the Last Rites for the Malthael. So you're going to be able to get that potential blow up. And I think the main person I'm going to be looking at is probably, I would assume it's going to be, it might actually be Stukov. I was going to say it'd be Malthael, but they're sitting in the 3k range with their health pool right now. And the Stukov is actually the lowest health pool hero on the opposing side. So the way that Last Rites work is it uses your missing health bar as your damage. So there you go. We actually, it's equal to 50% of their missing health. So there you go. You typically want to have someone you want to have them missing roughly 60 to 70% of their health bar before casting that. And once you get to the later half where it's, nearing that 15-second cooldown, you know, if you get quite a few stacks on it, you can throw them out a little bit more willy-nilly. But even then, 60 seconds, I believe, baseline, 65 seconds baseline is not that bad. That's going to be the Consume Soul used. I think that was mostly just to slow them down so they can actually make the engagement happen. Turret Hunter's going to be taking a lot of damage. Mark Zombie throws out the Ring of Frost, but they don't find anyone with it. That's going to be the Combustion from Blaze going out as well, connecting onto a few, not able to find a kill, but Turret Hunter taking a lot of damage from this Commandeer Odin. The last hit from Tychus will come out, but Blaze will be traded out in that Resurrection onto the Arthas, and that's going to be Resurrection value, 80 seconds on that cooldown right there. And with that, they're going to say, well, this is our opportunity to really step forward into you, because you don't Blaze for the next 20 seconds. Ankle Shot trying to make their way out, as that was a flailing swipe from Stukov to deny the kill onto another. Unfortunately, they still found that kill, and that will be Tychus going down. DeWitt face checking that bush right there. But it's okay. They're a Joanna. This will be the Punisher definitely going over in favor for the members of Nexus Cats, as they have found the second Punisher in their favor, and this will be pushing in through top lane. Now to note, Catapult was in this bottom lane, but it's a little weak in the game right now. Probably somewhere in the like 15 to 16 minute mark in the game, that's really when you're going to see Catapults dominate the lane. They still are going to be strong right now, but I think they can be cleared out pretty effectively and pretty quickly as well. You have a sushi parlor and a taco joint next door. God, that's just, I don't know how you don't eat there every single day. Ankle Shot tries to dive out to get some damage on the opposing side. Unfortunately, they take way too much damage, and I believe, actually I was gonna say, I believe that was the last rights used, but no, it's still on cooldown. They just got the last hit onto them, and now Nexus Cats, with some momentum, find themselves up with a fort down on the opposing side in top lane, and a potential pick onto Cowboy Kyle. That was really, really good. Woo! That was really, really close for Cowboy Kyle. I wasn't sure if they had jet propulsion or not. They also need to manage their mid lane. Shadow Guard will take care of that right there, and this is going to be the camps picked up on both sides. Woo! Alrighty, 15 to 14 in our levels, about a level lead still in favor for the members of our Zul'jin Distillery. Gonna have camp and bottom lane grabbed. I think they're gonna try and open up mid lane a little bit further, and this makes sense coming out from Zul'jin Distillery due to the fact that you have the next Punisher there. The gate's already down, so if you can force this wave up faster, that's gonna be huge for them. Also to note, things like sidewalls are kind of important. They don't give experience. What they do give is vision. And if you're able to deny that and also open up the lane a little bit further for yourselves, you can be more aggressive in these chases and these engagements. So you're not kind of bottlenecked or caught in this tight corridor as you're trying to get away. You have more room to kind of meander your way out of that engagement. So just even then, sidewalls, when you have the opportunity, really make a difference. But what they really care about is going to be 16 talent tier, as they do hit that right now. We'll go ahead and take a look at what those talents look like, as this is going to be the threat coming in. Do they have... Consume Soul is going to be used. That's going to be the Ring of Frost as well. A lot of damage initially onto one player. Last rights was used, but no value went out whatsoever, because I think there was actually full health on Tychus. Resurrection on Turret Hunter is going to be there. Blaze gets a jet propulsion into their face. Flailing Swipe coming through. Cowboy Cow so very low. Mephisto trying to zone back. Arthas does get the kill with the Death Coil, and it's very perfect that they use that ability to actually get the kill onto them. And now, with one kill and down talent tier, they find themselves up a little bit further in their experience. They should be able to close that gap to 16, and they should be on even talent tier for our next objective phase. As I said, mid lane going to be a Mortar Punisher, not the strongest of Punishers, but if they're able to grab this on the Nexus Cats, they're going to be able to open themselves up a little bit further. I like this soft push here. This is a really, really strong move from them, because now they're going to take out, one, the lane sustain. That's why you're seeing them immediately move to the well down there, but also they had the wave right behind them. That was so perfectly played. Jaina trying to get that last little damage in, but they realize it's a little too risky. Lulu taking quite a bit themselves. Detainment Strike goes out. It's going to be the Howling Blast to try and slow them down. Lulu is just doing their best to keep backing out and healing. Unfortunately, that's going to be the kill onto Ariel and onto the Arthas. Who do they resurrect? Actually, can they resurrect someone else while they're dead, or is it only them? I think it's only themselves. I don't think she can resurrect another. Ariel can use this ability while dead to resurrect herself. Only herself, okay. And so realistically here, I think they all just eat the death timers, they wait for the objective to pop up, and they all group up together. Unfortunately, it was a little too advantageous to take this on. I actually thought they were going to play this well, but I think maybe the well was what kind of did them in. They stayed way too long just to try and get that well. But the important thing to note here is that they're not using the resurrection. It's an 80-second cooldown. They're going to have it for this engagement. Now, they are going to be late to this, but they should be able to contest this next Punisher for mid lane. We'll see how that happens. See how and if it happens. Okay, excuse me. Everyone's back up. Actually, I was saying they might be able to contest this, but I think they're gonna give that over and say, let's get some more experience, let's push back our waves, and prepare for the siege that's coming in through mid lane. Yeah, this is definitely Border Punisher coming in through mid. They've got all 5 here. Every heroic is off cooldown as well. Let's actually pull away the stats. We'll look at the stats after this engagement. I just want to be able to show the full screen as we do have this Punisher moving on in through mid lane. So they're going to try and use Turd Herder to bait it over the wall. Probably going to be throwing a Howling Blast through. There it is. Punisher jumps over. And they're going to try and pull this towards the back side of this. A lot of damage initially going to be going on onto one. Malthael going to be picked off immediately from that Consumed Soul as well as the Tychus. Ring of Frost went out, but I think that was just zoning, if anything else. Huge Condemn coming out from Joanna as well. Huge combustion from the Blaze. Double huge plays coming out from the members of Zul'jin Distillery, but that is going to be Punisher moving towards core with Commandeer Odin just now going down. 4 members are down on the opposing side. Punisher jumps over. Vala tries to vault out, is going to be able to do so, but the enemy team is currently on core, and it looks like this is going to be game number 1 going over to the members of Zul'jin Distillery. GG. Well played. All right, everyone, I'm going to quickly run to the bathroom because we've been going for like 2 hours and I haven't gotten up yet. And I also need to get the second cup of tea that I made earlier and put in the fridge because I knew we would need it. So BRB. Okay, let's show talents. Whew. What a wild game 1. Okay. Let's leave that whisper. Let's leave that whisper. Okay. Getting on back to Bandit and I. Let's fix his camera. So he decided to say he wasn't too sure about that one. Nice emotes, Punjabi. Let's see. Zul'jin Distillery is going to be up 1. Whew. Alrighty. We're going to find out if they want first pick or map pick, and then we'll get going into our next game. That's going to be won by them. And, yeah, because Arth is on the side with Turd, and that was the team that lost, yeah. Okay. Whew. So back to, I know I brought it up earlier, but AGDQ, and someone was asking if the runs are good. I mean, it really depends on the game. It depends on the games that you like. Like, I finished stream last night, and I managed to catch, like, the last hour and a half of the Doom run, and I love Doom and everything, but even if you're not a Doom fan, like if you're okay with like the gore and all that and like the fast movement and all the flashing and everything, I highly recommend the Doom run from this year from AGDQ, just because the fact that it was really, really well done by the streamer or the actual runner itself. Like that was the big thing. Like there was a Resident Evil 7 run from like 2 years ago from Games Done Quick, I think it was, and that one was just so very good because the runner itself was just insanely entertaining to watch. I think DeWitt's the captain on the opposing side. They want first pick what map? Sorry, I'm just making notes. Alrighty, everyone. Also, on the note. Ooh. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. They get this. They get this. Okay. Oh, well. Lobby's already made. The Punch-Out run was insane. I wish I caught that. I really wish I caught that. Are you casting Thursday? Yeah, I will be casting Thursday. I'm casting at 5 and 7, I think. Hold on. Let me look at my calendar really quickly. I wrote down 5 and 6:30, but I think it's 7 because I think I did it 2 hours. But how you doing, J-How? Thanks for coming by, bud. J-How in the house? Yeah, he comes by every so often. We lurk in each other's streams. I haven't been able to this week because of HDQ, and I haven't been in the past week because I was gone and flying around and doing all that visiting people things. But yeah, you're playing at 7 p.m. You're playing in what? You're playing at 7 butt? Perfect. Butt spot kicking right there. What do you wait, are you playing in the game that I'm casting? Or are you playing in something else that I don't know about? Let me also double check that Thursday game, because I swore I grabbed the 7 o'clock one. It was, because I think it was Weenus's game. Yeah, I don't know why I'm Potato. I wrote down 6:30 on my calendar. Yeah, I'm doing the 5 o'clock game, Please Clap versus Die for Vision. And then we're going to be doing the 7 o'clock game. Wait. No, I wrote this down backwards. We're going to do Game of Thrones versus Probius. That's what it is. And then we're doing the 7 o'clock game, Clouded Minds versus Tide Color Murgles. Subbing for Porky's team? Oh, you're doing Regen versus Chicken Nuggets? Nice. Oh, crap. Sorry. Teams are probably asking if I'm ready. R, Spooky Worm. Give him a Twitch link. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the bands. Well, that's okay to have. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. All right, we'll go ahead and see if we get into this one in just a second. Nice. Enjoy. Good luck in the games. King Run It Down has arrived. Dang, Bean. All right, let's get into our game, everybody. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. We find ourselves in game number 2 on Dragonshire. And if you're sitting at home, you might have just joined us and you're wondering how we might have gotten to Dragonshire. It's all right. I got you covered here for our maps. The home team this evening is going to be Zul'jin Distillery. They won the coin flip, they lost the coin flip. Nexus Cats opted for first pick in game number 1, banning out Towers of Doom and Tomb the Spider Queen. Battlefleet of Eternity and Alterac Pass were banned up by the members of Zul'jin Distillery. We had Infernal Shrines chosen by them and won by them. The members of Nexus Cats opted for first pick once again for game 2, meaning that the opposing side has to choose a map, and they're going to be taking us to Dragonshire for our second game here. Let's go ahead and check out what we get here. For our first ban phase, going to be Kael'thas to start things out, and we are in Division D, so this is going to be a bit of a different meta that we did see from Division C, and from previously last night, we saw Division A and I think B as well, so kind of jumping all around our different divisions for Nexus Gaming Series, just to kind of showcase and also, you know, get everyone on screen a little bit, just to show what each team's doing and, you know, highlight some great plays. But we do have this Kael'thas and the Leoric being banned out. Those Entombs not going to be making into this game. All I could do is think about the past few days. All I could think about the past few days is Probius, the perfect curvy chasing toe-to-toe is the pylon producing modules of a literal god. I want to feel this cold metallic all pressed against my body. Is Bean. That is probably one of the best copy pastes I've ever seen for Probius. Hold on, I know we should be casting right now, but I need to send this to someone. Hold on, this is important. This is. All right, cool. I had to send that to Cat Beach because she'll get a chuckle out of that one. Alrighty, we're here. We're in draft. We're good. Let's go ahead and get this going here. He's just chilling. He had 2 walks. The dog is just staring at the wall. Oh, Bandit? Bandit had 2 walks. He's pooped today. Beam, please. J-How, that copy paste is perfect, and you know it. Ariel going to be the high priority once again coming out from the Nexus Cats. We saw the resurrection availability from her is really, really strong, but unfortunately wasn't enough. Jaina and Joanna going to be grabbed together here on Dragonshire. Not a bad idea for not a bad idea for your bottom lane. Because typically what happens on Dragonshire is you draft your solo lane to go basically be in top lane the entire time. They're going to be in top lane for 90% of this match. You have a core 4 that is typically rotating through mid and bottom, but then sometimes one player just kind of sticks in mid and just kind of hangs out there to delay. So you have to consider heroes that have really good poke potential, heroes that actually can team fight in a 4 group, and then you also need, or in a 4 stack, and then you also need to consider who's going to be your solo lane and can they sustain through this. I was actually playing Dragonshire a couple days ago, and I was talking about my ranked experience with Dragonshire, and someone picked up a Zagara, and they just basically pushed down the lane. Like, there was nothing I could have done outside of maybe playing it better, but I haven't played against a Zagara in I don't know how long, and especially a Zagara that aggressive and that actually good at what they're doing too. So it's difficult because you can basically split push out of your mind if you don't have good rotations that come up to the top and stop that split push from happening. Now, me, I didn't get any of those rotations. They got tons of those rotations. This is just my salt from my one Storm League game. Either way, the one thing to consider in these zone games is, do you have someone that can gank? Do you have someone that can push? And what is your solo lane going to be looking like? How's your 4 stack going to be? And those are probably some core elements of this entire composition that they're putting together on both sides. Greymane was banned out on the left-hand side because that makes sense, because they once again don't want to deal with his camp pressure, his aggression, as well as just his overall versatility with his engage and disengage. Speaking of engage, we're actually going to be seeing Kerrigan here, and I talked about her. I didn't actually talk about her on Infernal Shrines being highly prioritized, but this is another map where she does pop up here and there. They still need a solo lane on the left-hand side, so we'll see what that's going to be. Definitely not going to be a Rexxar. Could be seeing a Malthael once again grabbed from the Nexus Cats. It wasn't awful. It actually pushed back the Blaze pretty well in the top lane, but it's just those team fights that just didn't get the value they were looking for. So maybe this is the game where maybe there's just a warm-up. Plus, there's a lot of squishies on the left-hand side, so it wouldn't be horrible for them. But it's going to be a Genji, so there's the gank potential that I was talking about, but you have a Sonya for the top lane just to sustain and kind of sit up there. What are they going to be picking up? This is the one place where I've actually seen Zagara being played, so I wonder if we actually get a Zagara here. We could get a Chen. This is actually when Chen had changes ages ago before he actually had the rework, and Storm, Earth, and Fire was like the only thing people chose. This is actually a great Chen lane as well. Oh my god, Kaleo, thank you so much. Thank you for making that a command. Thank you, Kaleo. I'm going to have that copy pasta everywhere in 2020. It should be everywhere, Bean. It should. No stew this match? Madness. Well, he's banned out. He's banned out. Blaze will round out the draft for the solo lane, so Sonya into Blaze. Genji will be rotating around, and Kerrigan's probably going to be rotating up into that top lane as well. So you're kind of looking at it, it's not one-to-one across the board, but, you know, Kerrigan and Genji are going to be kind of matching out in the rotations and trying to pick people off. Blaze and Sonya are going to be sitting in that top lane, going to get supplemental help from the Kerrigan and the Genji, realistically. Then you have Jaina, Joanna, Anduin for your core to rotate between maybe bottom and mid. Kerrigan might split off and rotate to top at that point, and that's the gank coming out into Sonya. Same thing with Genji, rotating with Sylvanas, ETC, Ariel, and Genji themselves. But I actually think, I'm looking at the two drafts, the aggression coming out from the side of Zul'jin Distillery is really, really strong. I feel like the Nexus Cats, though, can bring it back here, though. I really think that they can bring it back with the composition. I think the Genji's the big outlier for me, but it's also going to be that Sylvanas. We'll see if she's able to put some pressure on these players as we go ahead and get on into game number 2. On the left-hand side, we got Zul'jin Distillery. We've got Cowboy Kyle on the Blaze. Be Fresh is going to be on the Kerrigan. DeWitt going to be on that Joanna. Ankle Shot on the Jaina, and Led on the Anduin. On the right-hand side, we got the members of the Nexus Cats trying to take us to a game number 3. Shadow Guard going to be on the Sonya. We've got Turd Herder on the ETC. Arth is going to be on the Genji, Lulu on the Ariel, and Sylvanas being played by Mark Zombie. Let's go ahead and get into mid lane and see what we get for our first engagement of game number 2. And Ta, I'll do your bandit treat after this game. I just saw that you posted that right there. If I forget, please remind me. Or if you want to, when people are putting GGs, if you want to throw that in there as well, I'll remember right there. But I'll do my best. I have a fish brain, so sometimes I absolutely just forget things. We're all good right there, so let's go ahead and get on into our game. This is going to be Sonya versus Blaze in top. We currently have the 4v4-ish in bottom. There's Genji floating around, making sure they're also picking up that experience in mid lane. The core 4 is rotating around. This is what I was talking about, where you're going to be having a mid to bottom rotation, and this is where Kerrigan can typically split off. Maybe they'll just continue to rotate to top while the rest of the friendly team rotates to bottom, and if they don't communicate that from Nexus Cats, Sonya might be in a bit of a rough spot. Right now, Sonya isn't playing the lane too aggressive. They're playing up. They're playing up past their halfway mark, but typically you can see them right now. The middle of this map, where the shrine, actually, if you draw just a line down the middle, is kind of your zone of engagement, or your line of engagement, and once you pass that, you're basically trying to threaten to the enemy team. That's why you're seeing Joanna right there was just stepping up into them. Now they're trying to do the exact same thing. When they can't find anything, they're going to back off and just kind of reposition with their minion wave. It's typical play coming out from these players right there, just playing it safe and just making sure that they're on their right side and their left side and just not going to get picked off too aggressive. Now in the top lane, it's a bit of a different story, because sometimes the solo laners will literally just brawl out. Oh, one little experience globe didn't follow Sonya. But sometimes they'll brawl out and just completely, or not brawl out, they'll just go for the clear in the mini wave and almost ignore each other. And I've seen some solo laners do that. It's almost like this weird respect thing, where it's just like, you know what, you clear, I'll clear. It's neither of us are going to kill each other. We'll wait for objective, and then we'll just smash faces. And that's exactly what you're seeing right now. Objective's up, and now Cowboy Kyle needs to play more aggressive into Shadow Guard. We actually have ETC going down in the bottom lane. That will be first blood in favor for Zul'jin Distillery, as Genji and Kerrigan in mid lane. A little bit of a just kind of back and forth here. She's making sure that they're not going to be losing out on that experience. The big thing that I want to point out as well is we do have this Sylvanas, who did go into Unfurling Shadows. She also did go into the Unstable Poison, I believe it is, at level 4, so the minions are going to explode. So it gives you a little bit of more effective wave clear. It's not something I see too often, but Unstable Poison pops up here and there. Genji now making, this is the rotation I was talking about earlier in the draft. If Shadowguard can get Cowboy Kyle to come a little bit further out in the lane, this will be perfect for them. But I don't think they're going to take the bait, so they realize they need to rotate back down here, because they're going to start missing experience in their own front gate. And they actually might have to use, no, they won't use a Swift Strike. The range on the actual the experience is a 6, so Genji currently has a 4.5 range with their auto attack, so you can kind of gauge how far you need to be. And it's actually something that I've been focusing myself, is like, how do the experience globes work when I'm trying to, soak from a distance? And it's not that bad, at least in my opinion. It doesn't feel too bad to still try and soak when you're behind or even from a distance. Genji came up here to try and get the pick, but now Kerrigan's up here as well. Nice deflect as well. Genji with the Swift Strike as Blaze gets the Jet Propulsion, and they actually got the Jet Propulsion onto the Genji. And as I realized that I clicked on Genji, and his portrait's been up the entire time. Sorry about that. But that was that was insanely impactful from the Genji as well, to be able to get the Swift Strike in front of the Blaze, so the Jet Propulsion hits the Genji, and they actually don't get away. Oh, the one Archer minion doing God's work for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. Arth is not going to be able to grab that right there, but with the minion down, Sonya should be able to zone this. Kerrigan, tries to get the Ravage, doesn't get the pull in. Or excuse me, the Primal Grasp. Oh good, missed the break because Warcraft raid. Oh, okay. I hope your Warcraft's raid is going very, very well, my friend. Blow up Ragnaros. I'm assuming it's Ragnaros, right? It's always Ragnaros? Oh, gonna be able to get away. Very aggressive Swift Strike. I don't think they're expecting to see a Duet and a lead right after that one right there, but almost getting the Kerrigan right there. Meanwhile, in top lane, Shadowguard is still going into the Blaze in top. Let's actually cycle through some of the other numbers. We've looked at quite a few of these stats for quite some time. Bottom lane is still being pushed in. I actually didn't look really quickly. I want to know. Sylvanas at 37 stacks on her Unfurling Shadows.
Hero slain.
And Blaze will be picked off in the top lane from the rotation from Genji. This is what I was talking about draft. This is something I was kind of harping on, and this is why I was complaining about my own Storm League game, where I was getting flamed for my solo lane play when I didn't die, but my other teammates weren't rotating and they were just dying in bottom lane to a 4v4, which, a little surprising right there, as Arth is going to be going down. Also, it was a Zul'jin, so that just tilts you to the moon. 8 to 8 in levels as we are going to be rounding into 9s in a second here. Nice power slide just to, and also great follow-up with the Detainment Strike. I believe Ariel is going into the repeated offense at level 4, so she's going to be at 2 out of the 6 stacks necessary. They do have the increased range by 30% baseline from that quest, but they also get the 250 extra damage when they complete that. So that little extra damage really can do a lot for an Ariel, especially, I mean, 250 damage from a healer is that's a ton of damage. Arth is going to get forced back in this mid lane, going to have to Hearth back fully. Sonya in top lane, going to be full versus Cowboy Kyle. We'll see how this matchup's going to be going because Kerrigan actually is going to make the rotation in this top lane. We can actually jump over to Vision really quickly for the Sonya. So they see the Kerrigan's up here. Jaina did go down to the bottom lane. Shadowguard considering what direction they need to rotate out of here. Laser showing on the left side. They can also use the spear to potentially pull themselves over the wall, but it looks like Sylvanas might... Actually, Sylvanas wasn't showing... Not Sylvanas, sorry, Kerrigan. My brain. I think Kerrigan might have shown in mid lane. I was just like, I said that, and I was like, that's not right. Sylvanas is on their own team. Primal Grasp will find them. They're also going to get that Impale. Shadowguard trying to find their way out of there. They're actually going to get the Mythical Spear into one, and I think they're just trying to continue this engagement. Meanwhile, in mid lane, they do have the opportunity for a potential Dragon Knight, but they also have that fort going down. Lead in this mid is... I don't think they won't be going down. They get the flash heal onto themselves, but it's just... It's always like, you going to do all right there, Anduin? Sylvanas throws the Banshees forward as well because she did go into the Festering Wounds at level 7, so she's just trying to build up that stacking. 57 stacks already at 6 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. Pretty good right there. Blaze can take the Sonya out of the lane. They're trying their best to. Definitely trying their best with that one. Channel coming through. Ooh, hold on. Big fight in mid lane as Mark Zombie barely gets out with the Banshees. That's going to be Kerrigan going down. And they find themselves another kill here. Can they get the Dragon Knight? That's the big question. It seems like right now they've had opportunities for the Dragon Knight for probably a solid 5 minutes, and it's just constant. But now Cowboy Kyle getting chased in this top lane. The fort front gate is whittled down a little bit, so they're not going to be chasing too far because there are still tower shots that they don't want to be taking. But great job denying this in the mid lane. Unfortunately, they, as I said, lost their fort in bottom, and Ariel's still just coming down here to soak up a little bit further. Sonya in top lane is just forcing up this a little bit. Yeah, they're forcing up that wave, and now Genji, this makes Genji's life even easier because the chase potential is significantly increased. We do have a couple members holding this bottom lane over now, so they're not going to be able to have the channel for the Dragon Knight, but they realize that they are a little bit split, so they're going to try and take the fight there, as I think they saw a couple members were in mid lane, maybe rotating down, or rotating in to try and force the fight or even pull them out of that lane, so they're denying some experience. 13 talent here around the corner as well. Power slide from the ETC, looking for someone to be able to jump onto. Mark Zombie uses the Banshees for it. That's going to be Kerrigan popping the Maelstrom, and that's also going to be a Light Bomb out from Anduin. Ankle Shot taking a lot of damage. Arth is looking for the Swift Strike through. They don't actually get that. They don't find the kill, but actually Ariel does in the end, and that's all that really matters. Lulu taking quite a bit of damage. They do have Resurrect, so that's something they can utilize. X-Strike was used. Be Fresh is going to go down to the Swift Strike from the Genji, and with that reset from the Swift Strike, they're going to rotate up here. Deflection going to be used, trying to use their own tower shots against them. Sonya finds the slam, and that will be another kill in favor for the Nexus Cats. The momentum is building in their favor here in game number 2. They are looking and driving us towards a game number 3 potential. We'll see if it happens here, because it's Here's the Storm. It's anybody's game. We saw that Towers of Doom game go so back and forth consistently, and then just one team was just like, you know what, I am going to hold this now as... Sorry, I thought it was like ETC being thrown there, but it was one of the Siege Giants or something like that, or one of the catapults was breaking. Anyways, Dragon Knight in bottom lane. Genji's going to be the one inside of it, still pushing in right there. Just going to throw a little Fire Breath down there. Going to kick the Joanna away so the main anchor's out of there. They do have a little bit of poke from Cowboy Kyle, but they just don't have to worry about the shield glare consistently coming out from DeWitt as well. Dragon Knight gets the front gate of the keep in bottom lane. They're going to rotate over to mid. Sylvanas, I don't know if she has her trait up and available. Let's go ahead and check really quickly. She has trait up in the next 12 seconds, so she will be she won't be able to lock down the tower during this Dragon Knight phase, but once again, going to be kicking away at least the Jaina right there, so getting rid of the main source of damage. Cowboy Kyle does need the Leap of Faith to pull them back over to the friendly side of this lane. Still have the Dragon Knight up for the next 7 seconds with 53% on it, so they're going to try and make as much happen with that. As noted, this Sylvanas does have her Black Arrows up. That's going to be a Wailing Arrow out as well, but unfortunately, no major follow-up. Ankle Shot, actually. Ankle Shot gets taken down. That was the follow-up they needed. Swift Strike through the fort, and that will confirm it. They end up getting a fort and a front keep gate during their Dragon Knight phase, and just to note, that was the first Dragon Knight of the game. Whew. First one of the game, got a decent amount of value from there, but we also, it's 1 to 8 in kills and 16 talent tiers around the corner. Nexus Cats, playing a different game right now. Momentum is behind them. They got a couple kills under their belt. They've got some great experience value in their favor as well. Once we get to them to the 16 talent tier, oops, excuse me. Once we get to the 16 talent tier area, we'll go ahead and show some of their talents there. I thought I just knocked a glass over and I just don't want to do that. Anyways, here's our 16 talent tier rounding in. Sonya going to be still doing some extra soaking, also grabbing the camp for bottom lane, splitting the pressure around the map. Top lane fort should be going down, but they're going to try and make something happen with this. They realize that Sonya's down in bottom lane, so it's 4v5 in favor for the members of our blue team. That's going to be Ariel going down. She can self-resurrect if she needs to, but ETC gets picked off as well. Self-resurrection would be very risky, so they're going to back right out of there. Look at Arth. Just trying to find an angle to get out of here, and the enemy team is starting to collapse. They just Swift Strike through Chastise. X Strike is used. It's 80-second cooldown on that, but they don't get picked off, so semi-worth. No objective is up either, and Sonya's going to be able to get a free camp. Siege camp is up over here in the next 20-some seconds. Bottom lane is still being pushed in by the camp that was grabbed earlier by Sonya, so that value she grabbed was really working out for them. But now top lane is being sieged in. Mark Zombie trying to get as much stacks as possible with the Banshees that they're throwing out here and there, but there's a silence out onto Be Fresh. Is there a Swift Strike through? No. Sonya does get the spear onto Cowboy Kyle. A lot of damage going onto them. I think ooh, Detainment Strike doesn't go through, but Cowboy Kyle still goes down. I don't think they get the Swift Strike reset either on the Genji, as Be Fresh is going to be stepping up, but they don't go for any sort of kill. Jane is still clearing out bottom lane, so they realize that there's no big burst potentially coming into them. Plus, they still have the 16 talent tier advantage over the opposing side. Chastise coming out, DeWitt in a bit of a rough spot. They're going to back right out of there just fine. For Brenda, okay. What's up, Bandit? Channel potential for Dragonite is up and available. They're gonna stop that right there, but this is going to be a couple, yeah, they're gonna get surrounded. Huge mosh pit coming out from the ETC, and now they're trying to burn through the Anduin. Detainment Strike as well coming out onto, I think it was Joanna right there, just knocking him into the wall. Ring of Frost coming out from the Jaina, and they're starting to clean this up in the opposing way. Holy crap, is Genji gonna go down? So is Ariel and ETC. Oh, Mark Zombie doesn't get over the wall right there, but they still managed to back up and spray. Oh, and Kerrigan going to step in, and she ends up going down right there. So a 2 for 3. Ariel's actually going to resurrect herself on the point. A little risky, but there was no one else around to really capitalize on a kill onto her, so works out for them in the end. Sonya's still rotating around and getting experience. As promised, we're going to go ahead and cycle through some of the other numbers. We've seen what the 16 talent tiers look like. I don't think Shadow Guard should be in a bit of a rough spot. I'm just saying, if they had Leap, this wouldn't be an issue, but... ETC is going to be up here with Genji as well. That's why you're seeing the glow on your mini-map. Bottom lane still has Siege Giants and a Catapult coming in. Looks like Anduin is not the one who's going to clear this out the best, but at least they're going to aggro some of the... these Siege Giants are really doing work, but... At least the mini wave is going to aggro a little bit of that. Top lane is going to be grabbed by the members of Nexus Cats, and they're going to lock down the tower as well.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
Oh, bush party time. Hold on. Oh, they see that there's a couple members down here. They're going to rotate into the Blaze, power slide through. They're looking for the Jaina, as there was a Wailing Arrow that came out. Huge leap of faith that's going to be saving them right there. Ring of Frost coming out as well. Connects onto the Sonya, who's going to try and spin to win. They're going to be doing a great job right there. That's going to be Light Bomb onto the Kerrigan, who also has the Maelstrom up. Going to find the kill onto the ETC as well onto the Sonya. Lulu very low, has the Resurrect in the next 3 seconds. They want to try and use that onto someone besides themselves, and they need to find the angle. I think they're going to be going for... It looks like they're trying to go for ETC based on the range that they're kind of stepping up into. Yeah, there we go. So they get the ETC resurrection. Jade is going to dump a little bit of snow, but Genji comes in trying to put a little damage onto them as well. We'll go ahead and see what the stats look like in just a second. Go ahead and see what some of those stacks look like for some of the heroes as well. 95 on the Sylvanas. Channel for the Dragonites up and available. Genji, I don't think, has an interrupt in time here. Ooh, they just locked them down, but oh my god, they get the channel just in time. No Dragonite, and that would have actually been the second one of the game. They had a great mosh, didn't have the damage, I guess. Yeah, Sylvanas was their damage at that point, and I think they had an Ariel as well. Genji was late to the party, and I think Sonya was as well. Like, I think it was like a 3-member mosh with 3 members around. Maybe it was 4. Maybe the Genji was there, but yeah, they just couldn't find enough kills quick enough. I do want to point out that the catapults in this bottom lane have been forcing this up pretty effectively, and so has the entire team. But now they're making sure that a Dragonite isn't going to be something that they need to deal with. Also, Genji did go into Zanshin, I think is the name of it. I'm excited to see if they can make something happen with this. Do we get a YouTube play? Do we get the Genji YouTube play that they're looking for? I never see this. I can't tell you how many Genji games I've casted, and I've never seen this. I'm excited to see what this Genji brings to the table. I'm trying to find someone without a questing talent. Is there anybody? No? All right, doesn't matter. Anduin, perfect. Light Bomb out from Cow onto Cowboy Cow. Another huge fight breaks out. Ring of Frost coming out as well. Wailing Arrow going to be there. ETC the first one to go down, but Death Mosh is going to be coming out as well. X-Strike going to be going out, and they don't have the living weapon, so it's not like they get reset after reset from that X-Strike, because they would have actually been able to dump some damage out. Anduin the first one to go down on the opposing side. Actually, no, that was going to be Jaina the first one to go down. Blaze going to be picked off as well. They do currently find a kill onto Kerrigan. DeWitt going to be taking a lot of damage. Shield Glare comes out, but Genji gets to the far side. They're going to try and just consistently put damage onto them as they have the spear. Do they have the... Oh, they don't have 20. I thought I saw this as indestructible, and I was like, they got it, they're good. Wait a minute, no, that's actually going to be Holy Renewal. Ooh. Joe took the 7 quests, but didn't finish. That has to be one of the hardest in the games to complete. I see this quest completed more than I expect, which is crazy. Like, I would say that there's probably like a low, maybe like a 40% of the games that I cast with Jonah when they grab that, finish it out. Deathmosh value? Deathmosh value was insane right there. Deathmosh value just set up the game, and that is going to be the members of Nexus Cats. There is a defense coming out from the opposing side, but this is a Dragonite, 17 minutes in, hitting for 405 in auto. This is going to be game going over to the members of the Nexus Cats. They have taken us to a game number 3. GG, well played. Sir? Oh god. All right. Okay. Just checking to make sure we're not missing things. I have a ping in Division C. Oh, okay, cool. All right, we're good. Division D, chat, let's show talents. Game 3, we have, out of our 3 best of 3s, so far we're 2 for 2 on going to Game 3s. Oh boy. I'm glad I made the second cup of tea. Definitely necessary. Definitely necessary. All right, let's go ahead and pull this back. Let's get our information all updated, and let's go and get into our next game because we're on a roll this evening. Let's see. So the winner was that team, so it's going to be... No, it's going to be... Yeah. Sorry, I have that backwards. Or Mac. Bahamut, you have commented on Zagara on Dragonshire. Do you think Zagara is in a strong place right now? Yes and no, and I hate to like kind of give you a wishy-washy answer. It's really who she plays up against, and it's a lot like it's you know how different divisions or different rankings like platinum, bronze, all that stuff. They all have different metas within them. So right now, a lot of the Storm League meta is to just split push and win the game. But in a Storm League, it's Durst to pick. Okay, Durst to pick for that team. Okay, so if it's a no communication setting, which is most of Storm League, you're going to win when you just split push out of your mind and stuff like that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to make lobby and stuff. Oh, never mind. I don't need to do crap. I'm used to just making lobbies constantly. Sorry. I'll get to my point in just a second. I know I'm kind of jumping around right now. Okay, so there's that, there's that. I just want to give you like a full competent thought. Okay. Essentially, what it boils down to, in my opinion, is if you have a team that's communicating, Zagara split pushing like the way she did in the game that I was talking about doesn't work whatsoever, because you're in comms, you're gonna say, hey, I need help with Zagara, or you know, can a Genji or someone rotate up? We had a team that had no way to rotate up and potentially get a gank. We had a Zul Jin as our main source of damage. They're not going to kill Zagara. Zagara's going to be able to neander her way on her creep quick enough than anything else. So it's just one of those, it's really, really difficult because it depends on the situation. In Master Grandmaster, I doubt you get away with that whatsoever. I feel like you get punished for that very hard. But, you know, if you're playing in probably gold, plat, maybe low diamond, you can probably get away with just split pushing Zagara. So, I don't know, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. It can work, but it's the setting. Okay. Looks like one of the teams is going to make a small bathroom break, and we'll just hang out here. Do you think she's in a... Grim thinks she's in a strong place. I'm not saying she's weak by any means. She's definitely strong. She's squishy but ranged. Yep. Gotta run, have a good night. Thanks for coming by, Rob Christie. You have a great night as well. Sorry for the delayed response. Yeah, of course. Would you say that our kit is good in the current meta, or could it use more buffs or changes to abilities? You know what? So they went into a direction with her, which is really interesting when they made some changes, and that she has increased damage. Like there's barbed spines or something like that. It's like a 13 or 16 talent that you can grab with her, and you get increased range and damage to enemy heroes when you're on your creep. And I think that would be really, really cool to see if you made Zagara play specifically around her creep more. Like I think that would be the coolest factor, is if you really, really embellish, or you try and focus in on what her being a Zerg and her needing to be on the creep, much like how how her model in in StarCraft 2 works, where she's actually able to place creep and stuff like that. Like that's really, really cool. But I feel like if her kit had more abilities that played around that creep, which is a huge factor for her, I think that'd be really, really cool. Like I would love to see like a creep talent at level something, where you're empowering your creep one way or another, whether you're increasing your speed, whether you're increasing your base armor, whether you're increasing your spell power when you're standing on creep, something like that'd be really, really cool. Or if there was like a late talent where it's like, all right, now all benefits you have on your creep are now amplified to your friendly team. Maybe that creep talent goes away, but still, it's one of those things that I think if you were to really, really focus on the creep being the main source of like her kit, I think that'd be really, really cool. But she's not in a horrible spot. She just might need some changes, because there's a lot of talents that go into her summons, which makes sense because that's also part of her. So there's a balance and a push and pull. I don't know. I'd have to sit down and look at it a little bit more, but I think she could use a couple changes. But we have a game. Let's get into our actual draft. All right, we're here. I pushed the wrong buttons really quickly. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. We find ourselves here in game number 3 of our second of 3 best of 3s, and we are going to Volskaya Foundry. And if you're sitting at home and you're just worrying about Zagara's kit, it's okay. I feel it too. Let's find out what's happening with the maps, though. The home team this evening will be the members of Zul'jin Distillery, losing the coin flip. The opposing team opted for first pick in game number 1, banning out Towers of Doom and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Battlefleet of Eternity and Alterac Pass were banned up by the members of Zul'jin Distillery. Infernal Shrines will be the first map chosen by them and won by them. Second map, the members of Nexus Caps opted for first pick, so second map was chosen by Zul'jin Distillery on Dragonshire. They lost that. The members of Zul'jin Distillery opted for first pick in game number 3, and that means Volskaya will be chosen by the members of Nexus Cats. Let's go ahead and get back into our draft and find out what we are going to be getting here. As Ariel finally will be showing up in our ban phase. Respecting her finally and getting rid of that. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. She used to have a talent that gave her armor and creep. You are correct. You are correct on that. Oh, treat. Bandy, you want a treat? Come here, bud. Thank you for reminding me. What you getting? What is this for? Is this for you? Is this for you? Can I have a high five? Yeah. Oh, there you go, bud. Thanks, Ta. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bud. Thanks for redeeming your points. And thanks for giving Bandit that delicious treat. She still does. Yeah, she does, actually. Apocalypse Shovel, you are correct. But either way. Zul'jin Distillery sounds like a map that's coming to HOTS. I feel like it's part of the Blizz world in the Overwatch map, you know? The Overwatch map where it's like all the different Blizzard universes all in one. I feel like Zul'jin Distillery would be like right next to the Hearthstone Tavern. But we have a draft taking place. Let's actually get into this because we're in game number 3. Whew. 6 games in. Well, 5 games in. This is game number 6. But Ariel, Raynor on the left-hand side. We have a Kael'thas and a Garrosh on the right. They're going to pick up a Stukov on the left-hand side for the members of Zul'jin Distillery, and Nexus Cats will be picking up a Li Ming ETC. Really, really wanting to prioritize onto the ETC. Sorry, I woke up today and my hand is just absolutely like... I don't know what I did to it, but like the whole lower half of my hand feels bruised, and it's odd. I feel like I like chopped something and I just did a horrible job of chopping. Anyways, Li Ming ETC on the right-hand side. They've got a Stukov already. They could be looking for something like a Leoric to pair into that with an Entomb, but a Jaina and a Tychus. It's about time. Now, 1, Deathwing is not banned out yet. 2, typically when teams draft all of their damage and healing initially and then leave one thing for the last 2 slots, I mean, I doubt it's Cho'Gall, but a man can dream, and I'm going to dream. Because Joanna has not been prioritized whatsoever, and I feel like with a Jaina Stuk, like, I feel like you would be wanting that Joanna instead of the Tychus. I don't think Tychus was something that the opposing side was really considering. With a Li Ming, I would be banning out Greymane 100%. Greymane actually popped up in the ban phase from Zul'jin Distillery in first and second game, but this game, when they have the Li Ming, they don't ban it out. And I'm not saying like, oh my god, you're losing the game because you didn't ban it out, but like it's much like Jaina and Raynor. That's a match made in heaven. Li Ming and Greymane, same thing. Li Ming throws out some initial damage, Greymane dives in, capitalizes on it, reset for Li Ming, Greymane gets a kill, or he can even go for the throat, and that might actually reset, go for the throat, give a reset to Li Ming, and then you're just rolling and rolling and rolling. Most of her creep buffs come at the Night Assault upgrade. Yeah, I don't know, it feels weak, I'll be honest. Like, it increases the duration and the vision and how big it is. I think that's really about it. First pick Stukov. Zag could always be fighting from her creep. Should always be fighting from her creep. I agree. But I feel like a lot of Zagaras don't do that, and that's why I was like, well, maybe if you gear her entire kit towards that, that'll kind of empower that exact kind of thing. Cho'Gall would be insane. I wish. Because technically Volskaya is a map where you're going to brawl out a lot, and that's where Cho'Gall's benefit. In maps where you're going to brawl back and forth. I wonder if they're considering the... There's no way they consider the Deathwing. This is 100%... You just grab the Greymane here. Oh, with a Varian and a Tychus, I can see how this is working. I lean into the Greymane, but that's just me. That's just me. Cassia, not a bad option as well. Ball Lightning, a great option for them. Probably going to be seeing Combustion again from that Blaze. Rexar was something that we didn't highlight as well as the Varian. This is going to be interesting. I doubt it's going to be Twin Blades. I think this is going to be Colossal Smash or a Taunt. A Taunt wouldn't be too bad into the Li Ming or the Cassia. We'll have to see here what happens here. Bandit is absolutely... Oh, he's so pooped today. He usually, like, in the summer he gets 2 walks, and he's like... He's usually okay-ish, but, like, he got 2 walks today, and he is just done. Like... I've never seen him so poop before. It's just, well, I mean, I have. Like, he's run around with the neighbor dog, but like just on like a weeknight after two walks. But I don't know. We did run around the house a little bit today, so maybe that took a toll. Either way, we're here. We're ready to go. Game number 3. Let's go ahead and find out who's gonna be taking our second best of 3 of the evening. On the left-hand side, we got Zul'jin Distillery. Bfresh is going to be on the Tychus. We have Cowboy Kyle on the Rexar. We have Ankle Shot on the Jaina. DeWitt's going to be on the Varian, and Led will be on the Stukov. On the right-hand side, we got the members of Nexus Cats. Arth is going to be on the Cassia. We have Mark Zombie going to be on the Li Ming. Lulu will be on the Anduin. Turd Herder going to be on that ETC, and Shadow Guard on the Blaze. Let's go ahead and jump on into our mid lane and check out our level 1 talents. This is at least what when I play Varian and I play Taunt Varian, this is what I take at level 1. This is what the reward from this, the slow reward, is so beneficial for basically being a chasing nuisance. Plus, you're also going to have that Jaina who's going to be slowing, and I'm not actually sure if that stacks up total. We can actually click. I'm just curious what it actually applies. It's 25%. So I don't think it's a 70. I don't think it's a 75% slow. I think it just utilizes the biggest CC number, much like how armor works now, and like spell armor or physical armor. I think it just uses the highest buff or debuff, and it doesn't double stack. It won't be 75%. It'll just be 50% or the 25, depending on which one's actually on them. Regardless, let's actually jump around in some of our lanes, see what these players are up to. We currently have Cowboy Kyle versus Shadow Guard in the bottom lane. Actually, I want to jump in the top lane because there's a bit of a brawl breaking out up here. Duet gonna be, oh, Lulu getting dove on, and Anduin gets bodied. Very early kill coming out in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery, pushing them up a bit in experience. Gonna be grabbing somewhere in the 400 range. Actually, not even 291 experience. I think that was like sub 1 minute still when they actually got that kill. So not a whole lot of experience coming from it, but you can already see that minions are the main source of the experience coming in. You have about a 600-ish deficit between the two teams when it comes to the experience in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. But it's early game. Experience isn't that hard to find, and 300 experience from a kill can be easily mitigated with grabbing some camps and making sure you're not missing out on experience. Speaking of, this is exactly what you don't want to be doing, as this will be ankle shot pushing this up, and I think they're going to try and slow them down from making their rotation back, which is actually this is a huge play to deny experience, because you can rotate up and those globes do stay there for a couple seconds, but yeah, they're going to be missing an entire wave of experience, and that's going to slowly start pushing them up. And I only harp on that because early game experience, while I did say it can be won back, it also can be really quickly. You can gain advantages very quickly, and you can jump ahead by, as I said, denying experience, taking camps away from the enemy team, taking early game kills. So we'll see what happens here as Turd Herder is going to be jumping out of the point. They're going to try and steal this away. No one's going to be able to grab it just yet, as that's the biotic emitter still up and available for grabs. Led's going to be grabbing that leap of faith from Lulu to save them. Be Fresh is able to get out of there, as I think the actual fortification camp saved them from the arcane orb out from the Li Ming. Speaking of Li Ming, she is going into the orb build right now, and this is something that I've seen a lot of Li Mings going into lately on maps like this, where they're trying to poke from a distance. They're trying to get that increased value from their arcane orb. The triumvirate's one option, and then once you get into the 16 talent tier with God, I'm blanking on the name right now off the talent, but there is cooldown reduction when you hit heroes. No, actually, that's level 7. Increased range is at level 13, that's what it is. But you get a cooldown reduction, and I think mana return? No, I'm Potato. Triumvirate does that. Sorry, my orb talents for Li Ming, I always mix them all up right here, and I'm doing my best to learn every single one of them. But either way, we are going to be having those picked up by her. And also to note, Tychus did go into In the Rhythm at level 4, so they are going to be getting those stacks if you are a J-House Stacks fan. 1 HP Tychus for real. That Tychus barely made it out alive. I'm surprised they did, realistically. Top lane is going to get pushed in a bit here. Nice power slide from ATC onto Led. They're going to try and back out. That's the biotic emitter dropped immediately, so they won't lose it. They have to use it. I mean, sometimes some people say if you don't use it, you lose it, and that right there would have been a great example of if you don't use it, you lose it. But Shadow Guard in this bottom lane gonna get forced back right there. 7-6 in our levels, as B Fresh is going to be standing on the point for now, getting a little bit of the channel in favor. Turd Herder gonna try and find a power slide, not able to connect onto anyone, as Cassie is throwing out a little bit of damage onto that Misha Bear. B Fresh stepping up. Chastise goes out just to maybe catch someone, and they might have been able to turn around and power slide onto them. There's the stacks from Ninja. They know what's up. Just all the dings. It's such a satisfying, like, questing noise too, I'll be honest. Like, it sounds so great. That's a lot of damage coming out from Mark Zombie, but unfortunately Duet's gonna be able to mitigate a lot of it, as Shadow Guard is gonna be going down to the little bit of damage from Tychus. They're gonna turn around and say, ETC, you're next, and this will be first Triglaw Protector picked up by the members of Zul'jin Distillery. So they'll jump Be Fresh in there, ankle shot in there as well, and they're gonna move in through mid lane. The good motto, pop it, don't drop it. That's a good one too. All right, we're seeing pretty much the standard here. They're gonna be opening up the top lane front gate. They're looking for the well. Reason being is they're going to be trying to take that down, so the lane sustain during the control point B phase is going to be removed. That's going to be the Power Glove forcing back Turd Herder. More like Rocket Glove, but kind of looks like the Power Glove that you used to have. This is going to be Art taking a lot of damage. They're going to be able to back right out of there. Neek Neo, thank you for the 2 months of support. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime. I'm going to resend your alert when we get out of this game, but thank you so much for the support, my friend. And hello. Top lane 4 ends up going down. That's actually a lot of value from a first Triglav Protector phase as Turd Herder gets taunted and almost gets picked off right there. Mark Zombie forcing back the enemy team with a couple ability shots out right there, and this Rexar still, I wouldn't say holding, but forcing back Blaze in this bottom lane and making their life a little difficult down here. It's not the easiest time for this Blaze right now, as they're just trying to push out the wave a bit. Once again, they'll grab the Biotic emitter on the left-hand side, and actually, now that we're seeing 10 talent tiers, let's actually cycle through some of the other numbers. They have found themselves about a level and a half above the enemy side. Control point B, I didn't look at the timer, but we're probably sitting somewhere in the 8 to 9 minute mark when that should be up and available in-game time. We're currently 6 minutes in. Look at this rotation coming in. They're either going to go for the steal in this, yeah, they're going for the steal in this camp. And I think you saw the danger pinks coming out. They don't want to fight that. They have 10 talent here. They don't want to stagger out death. They don't want to give more experience over to the enemy side, so why not hold it out? Ektar, how's it going, bud? Thanks for coming by. Clear into mid lane. Anduin and friends were clearing out top a bit. Need to find that 10 talent tier so they can fight on said even talent tier. That's the big thing that they're trying to find here, is just being able to close that gap so they can actually fight the enemy team finally. And they should be able to do that with the camp that they're going to grab. Turd Herder going to get a little more experience, and mid lane taunt comes out. That's going to be the fetid touch as well, or at least the weighted pustule to get the slow right there. Glad to support, love the game, love the casting. Thank you so much, Neo. I really appreciate that, bud. Thanks for supporting the Heroes of the Storm scene and all this casting. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I think we're gonna start building a pool, and we're gonna try and make some sort of spring Baja Blast thing happen. I have ideas. I was talking about this before the new year, and I have ideas, and now that we're actually in the new year and things are starting to settle down when it comes to editing and BlizzCon stuff and casting and all that, we're gonna put together our own event. I think we're gonna try and get, maybe after the end of this NGS season, do a little showcase match, put up a little bit of fun money, and see what teams do. The big thing that I was thinking about here is I think I'm gonna make first and second place the literal exact same prize, because what ends up happening is you go, let's have a bunch of meme compositions, and then people get really try hard towards the end. But speaking of trying hard, that's gonna be ETC going down as the Ring of Frost connects onto 2 players, a Light Bomb onto Lulu to try and zone people back, Mark Zombie taking a lot of damage, but DeWitt does not care about any of this and just keeps stepping up, keeps chasing out. They almost go, yeah, they almost follow them on the conveyor belt, but they don't have an exit right there. So this is just going to be a 3 for none as control point B opens up at the 8 minute and 15 seconds. So I was a little bit off, but either way, in the same minute range. They're actually going to cycle Tychus up for this and then clear out mid lane. This is really smart coming out from Zul'jin Distillery, getting as much value on the map as possible. Great taunt on to Arth as they don't follow up enough for a kill, but we also have Misha and Rexar pushing out the bottom lane with a talent tier advantage. That 13 is up in favor for the members of Zul'jin Distillery. And Moran, how you doing, friend? Thanks for coming by. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Blaze with the jet propulsion and tries to get the combustion but doesn't connect. Protection status, by the way, from Wit. Wit actually going to be able to make their way right out of there. The slows are pretty good, but they weren't able to capitalize enough onto that one. Currently going to be having Camp pushing up into the top lane. Tychus still just doing Tychus things, you know, just hanging on out. It'd be cool if, like, Tychus... Oh, of course, I'm memeing. I was about to make a cigar joke, and then I realized that Jaina gets picked off, so let's actually not meme anymore, as Jaina did go down, so they realize this is 4v5. Mosh Pit goes out, that's going to connect onto 2, but immediately interrupted. Not going to get too much value. Ball Lightning jumps to a couple players, but it's not infinite, so it only gets, I think, 8 bounces total. 6, actually. So 6 bounces only channel, and they're going to back off and wait for the Jaina to get back up. Tychus about to be 2-0. So Distillery is such a stretch, but I love the name. Yeah. Glad I was able to catch the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Glad you were able to stop by. I actually liked Caldor's Meta Madness, where the community voted on heroes they globally banned. Yeah, I remember watching that as well. But on the note, while we kind of have this downtime, the whole thing, because I was talking to Fan about this at BlizzCon, and I was asking, I was like, would you play in a little thing that I put together? And he's like, yeah, but what happens is you put up a prize pool and you say it's like 500 for one and like 300 for the other. People are gonna start stop memeing and starting to play and like go a Nubarak Greymane and just dive and kill you. But that's gonna be ETC getting blown up, Ring of Frost coming out as well. Arth is trying to dive in and get some value here, but they're gonna be going down. Cassia is out of there. Lulu is gonna be chased by Ankle Shot. I think they're actually gonna shoot him in the ankle with one of these Frost Bolts. Actually, they end up sidestepping it. They did get the Blaze kill, Wave of Force to try and force them back, but they end up getting the kill with the Misha Bear. And now, oh my god, hold on, this chase is still happening over here. Lulu's able to just... Lulu must have watched Dodgeball, the movie, because they just dipped, dived, and dodged so very well. Mad to Madness was pretty cool, yeah. Unlimited bans to only 10 heroes left. The only thing is, like, I don't have a community as large as Kaldor, so it's hard to do those kind of things. But I think realistically, I think we're just gonna go to like a bunch of maps that people don't typically play on. We'll make some, we'll have some fun stuff, but I gotta get it all sorted out. Regardless, this is going to be Triglav Protector moving in through top lane, and there's multiple ways to play Control Point B Triglav Protectors. This is definitely one of the ones that I personally think is very, very strong if you have the advantage, like they do. It's 16 to 13 currently in levels, so they're forcing that with the talent to your advantage. But now, what happens is you have Control Point B Control Point C Triglav Protector as the next one. So this will be down here. You're going to have consistent catapult pressure through top lane due to the fact that there's no keep up there. So now you've put the enemy team on a time crunch. I've actually seen games end because of this exact thing. Look back at Tespa Collegiate Series in the fall with Jayhow. One of the it was like one of the final weeks or days, one of the first matches, it went through 6 control point phases. We had a second control point C, and the game didn't end because the Triglav Protector ended it. No. The game ended because the top lane had no keep, and the wave was so strong that the catapults just ended game. Like, the catapults were like, it's been 30 minutes, we want to win this for you. So they did, but just wild things like that. So just things to consider in your own game. If you have that keep down in top lane, you can now play this bottom lane so insanely slow. And I didn't, as I said, I keep forgetting to do this. I didn't look at the Triglav death timer, but I think we're still in the 15 to 16 minute range when it comes to our next one being announced and available for capture. Dwight gonna sidestep the damage out from Mark Zombie. They're able to grab this camp, and they got quite a few items in their pockets, but they're gonna be looking for more as the fortification camp on the left-hand side is up and available as well. I'm amazed by your ability to seamlessly switch between regular conversation and casting. It's because I got this fish brain, and I'm always thinking of, like, I'm in the middle of casting, I'm thinking of other things at the same time. It's just how my brain works. I don't know how. I got your name right? Oh God, thank God, I was so worried. Thank you, Earl. Thanks for coming by as well. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Praise be to the Stack Master, Tychus. Kaylee, I'm amazed by your, ooh. NGS Meta Madness. How do you, how are you about to spin when there's best of 3 each round, certain class, wait, what? Oh, how about you spin, oh, hold on. Banning required heroes of Civic Universe Nexus, that might be interesting. How about a tournament where every team gets locked meme pick every match? Oh, that'd actually be cool. That would actually be simple too. Because you don't need like 400 viewers to decide that one. That'd actually be cool, like, yeah. So they can draft whatever they want, but the chat gets to vote on one hero. So like, last pick is always from the chat, and it's like Murky or Abathur or Lost Vikings or I see Cho'Gall would be an interesting one. I feel we'd have to figure out a way to do that one. But either way, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea, Langaria. I like that actually. That's a good one. No one can use the same hero, so once a team picks it, it bans, it's gone for the rest of the games. That's a good one, Tixmaster. I think there was actually, back when they did Braxis Holdout, like when Braxis Holdout first came out, they did those show matches with 2 of the professional teams, and it was up for like, there was like $1,000 a match, which with then also who won the entire series, I think got a little bit extra money. And I think that's how that one worked as well. They actually, whatever was picked up, they couldn't pick in the following games, and it was a best of 5 series. And I think it was actually a series that was just 5 games. It wasn't really a best of, but anyways, all that aside, that's actually a really, really good idea. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Both of those are really good, actually. Either way, they're currently trying to base race a little bit. This is going to be top lane fort being traded out for bottom lane keep front gate. But here's the thing that I want to point out as well. Top lane fort was taken down, which means they're gonna have periodic catapult pressure coming through. So it won't mitigate all the catapults in top, but it will slow down the pressure. And I think they realize this, so they're going to try and actually, they're rotating as 4 to this top lane. This is, or are they trying to bait it? Are they trying to show us a couple off? No, they're legit trying to just force this top lane a little bit more. And they're also looking for their 20 talent tier advantage. They're only like 4 or 5 minions away from that, so they're actually going to grab a camp, cycle out, let the enemy team grab this point, and then they're going to be rotating in with 20 talent tier advantage. Yeah, no, chat, you guys have some amazing ideas. Thank you for the suggestions. I will, I'll be writing those down after stream, and I'll have to sit down, and I think this weekend I'm gonna have to do some planning, and I have to start messaging people about it and start organizing. I'm one of those people that I like to get stuff figured out insanely far in advance. Also, side note, the January Heroes Community League match between Tatsuki and a new person has been figured out. We just need to get a date from all the players, and we'll be going with that one. So we have another best of 5 series where all maps are up and available outside of the ARAM maps and the sandbox maps, and that will be one of these Sundays. Cat Peach and I will be casting it. We're gonna have a couple cocktails, and we're gonna be bringing you some fun Here's the Storm action. But right now we're seeing a bit of a base race, and I don't know how I feel about this, chat. Zul'jin is Sterling currently just stepping up to core. Trigla Protector was grabbed by them as well. Nisha and Rex are going to be walking to the core.
Blue team has taken control of the sector.
Well, the keep goes down in top, but in bottom lane, we're going to be getting game over to the side of Zul'jin Distillery. GG, well played. I was not expecting that end.